Did you guys see this? Somebody made a video about like all the YouTubers that are in jail right now. I didn't know that there's so many. They made a 40-minute video about all the YouTubers that are in jail. Wavy, goddamn. You guys want to watch it? I kind of wanted to see who's in jail and why. I wonder how many of them I know. Oof, I used to watch that guy. Oh, I don't know. I used to watch that guy. I love that guy. I used to watch that guy. Oh, white man jump scare. Anyways, time to do a little bit of work. A tiny bit, a smidgen, as a taste. As a treat even. Anyways, so this is YouTubers who went to jail. Very soon you go to jail. Let's see how many we know, guys. Let's take a look. And maybe there's some that we don't know. I want to see.
20-year history, we've seen many content creators get in trouble with the law. Generally speaking, your average YouTube lawbreaker comes in the form of a prank channel taking things too far, or
That's
perhaps an influencer spending the night in jail over some disorderly conduct. However, some cases are far more serious, with content creators not only getting arrested and jailed, but receiving criminal convictions and receiving prison sentences.
Yeah, there have been like a bunch of I mean, listen, with high clout comes high responsibility, and a lot of YouTubers aren't necessarily the most responsible people in the world. I will say that. Give the dog a treat. I will when I see one. Just let me know. I haven't been to jail yet. I mean, there's some who've like spent the night in jail. I mean, there was that YouTuber who like shot his pregnant who had his pregnant wife shoot him. There's that one. Did Daddy05 get time? No, I don't think so. As far as I remember. What's his name? Not Austin McBroom? Is that his name? Or something? What was that like? What was that guy who kept stealing money from people who was like a YouTuber? The Ace family? Is that them? The Ace family guys? Slicker? Slicker wasn't like, has Slicker spent time in jail? Has he gone to jail? Quit making up obviously fake names. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I thought you guys weren't gonna catch on. Logan Paul? Has Logan Paul spent time in jail? I don't think that's true. I'm talking about the Ace family. Who did those like boxing events, but not like the iDubbbz boxing events, the boxing events where they don't pay people and then skedaddled. Sky Does Minecraft also, as far as I know, hasn't spent time in jail. He has kind of like forcefully impregnated people, but he didn't go to jail for it. He did what? Yeah, he said that like one of his like ex-wives and baby mamas, like one of his like baby mamas came out and said that he coerced her into getting pregnant with him, getting pregnant for him, because he like kept pushing, give me a baby, give me a baby, give me a baby. And she was like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't know if I want to do that. So he like coerced her into doing it. Not great stuff, bad stuff even. Anyways.
Sentences that are currently being served as of the date of me recording this video. From a once beloved YouTube heartthrob caught with illegal child images, to a piano teacher posting illegal breastfeeding videos, to an anime reviewer serving life behind bars, these are the imprisoned YouTubers. Let's get into it. Today's video is sponsored by Keeps, and to begin the ad, let's look at my hair from old videos back in 2020. As you can see, your boy was in the middle of a hair loss downward spiral. I didn't feel like going bald, so I started to do something about my hair loss and got treatments through Keeps. And the results have been pretty insane. Here's me at 6 months after starting, a year after starting, 2 years after starting, and then me right now. And I think your boy's looking pretty good. Like, I definitely am not losing any more hair, that's for sure. Keeps offers generic version to start Keeps. Hair loss stops with Keeps. Go to www.keeps.com/wavy to get 50% off your first 3 months of treatment. That's
like the implication the last guy was in there for liking anime. Finally, let's clean up the streets. Austin Jones. I feel like I've heard of this guy before.
It's not all too uncommon these days for an aspiring music artist to get their start on YouTube, the platform allowing direct access to a potential audience of hundreds of millions if one is talented enough to stand out. A singer known as Austin Jones was one of the first to unlock YouTube's potential in this regard. However, what we find is that one of YouTube's earliest musical successes turns out to be one of its most disturbed. This is the story of Austin Jones. Joining the site back in 2007, Chicago-based singer, songwriter, and comedian Austin Jones was once a force to be reckoned with on YouTube. Austin got his start on the site by performing covers of popular songs of the era, including music from Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots, and Justin Bieber, to name a few artists.
In my mind's imagination, I hope that took as long as I'm poking them out the basement. This is not rap, this is not hip-hop, just another attempt to make
the shaggy-haired blonde crooner would eventually branch out from covers
that's 2006
and created his own original
YouTube,
songs and acapellas, some of which actually became minor commercial successes. And when I say minor, I really mean minuscule, like the guy might have sold a couple of singles on iTunes or something. In 2010, Austin released his debut album, Out of
technically
Character,
not nothing.
and associated music videos further helped establish this sort of scene kid heartthrob persona that Jones was clearly after. The target audience for this sort of music and content style is pretty self-evident. Austin's fan base was primarily composed of young women, some coming for the music, others seeing him as this sort of heartthrob figure akin to something like a Family Dollar version of Justin Bieber. But hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. In the early 2010s, this
Dollar
style
General,
was poppin', and Austin Jones was doing well on YouTube
One Direction.
adopting it. However, what we soon find is that
Bieber
Austin
existed.
Jones's
apparently he's like the
access
number
to an
3
audience
most
of
followed Twitter
underage
account.
fans proves to be quite problematic in a variety of ways. In the spring of 2015, a horde of damning evidence emerged implicating Austin as a sexual predator of underage girls, with claims coming up to the surface alleging the man of being a degenerate sex pest who would serially slide into the DMs of minors. Around this time, a bizarre video would surface which appeared to show Austin Jones showcasing to girls how they could twerk.
What?
Hey, cutie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. Hey cutie. Lord, dude, I'm so scared. I can't show him throwing it back, so I'll just like skip this a little bit.
Show Austin Jones requesting one girl to delete a tweet where the alleged minor publicly revealed Austin was requesting twerk videos. Here's some of the other leaked
Delete
messages.
that tweet.
So you like my song Toothpick Booty? Yeah.
Huh?
You should make a video of you booty popping to it. It'll be so awesome. Haha.
Okay.
Maybe. Why maybe? That should be a definitely. Let me be honest real quick. I was actually having a really down night, so I asked fans to message me to maybe cheer me up. And out of all the fans, I decided to talk to you. And now
hey
these
girl, can you
videos
show
are
me your
actually
butthole? I'm
cheering
having
me
such
up
a
and
bad
making me
night.
happy. Can you please make
Cause
more?
of death, lack of
How
booty
about
pics?
after each one, I'll make a video of me talking and telling you what I liked about it. Look, you're really nice and everything, and I love you a lot, but no, I don't
love
want
you
to,
a
I'm
lot?
just not comfortable.
Oh,
and it's
my bad, this
late
is a
and
child.
cold, and I still have homework. And I'm truly sorry, but I just can't. Great, now I'm in an even worse mood. Other unconfirmed
Damn, what
leaked
the fuck?
screenshots appeared to show Jones giving very specific instructions regarding alleged twerk videos. That was really good. For the next one, do it with your legs apart, but while you're stretching down, move your hips.
He's commissioning her for twerking like he's like she's a Twitter artist. What in the world?
I think I'd die of laughter, haha. I've legit been singing that song all week, haha. You should do it, it'd be fun. So as you can see, you've got these screenshots allegedly showing Austin Jones requesting, favors from minors. The concerning allegations surrounding Austin Jones would begin to circulate around Twitter, and the situation would become something of a viral news event when YouTubers published videos covering the allegations.
He had told me that in the past, like a couple years ago, if not a year or two ago, whatever, that he asked for girls to twerk for him in videos, to send them videos of them twerking for him.
Why are these people doing this? These are people that have all these people looking up to them, and they're taking advantage of their fans. And honestly, I think that it gives our music scene a very bad reputation.
In the wake of the accusations, Austin Jones would publish a video of his own called "Setting the Record Straight," where he attempts
Did you guys know
to
this?
trivialize his
The music
actions,
scene
claiming
has
that
a
the
talking
twerk
to
requests
minors
were simply
problem?
just for fun, and that
Crazy.
no sexual motivation prompted the solicitation of the aforementioned content. Additionally, the
Twerking has no
22-year-old attempts to
sexual
justify his alleged
connotation?
actions by citing loneliness and self-confidence issues.
So that you would understand why I was that desperate, why I was even asking for those things. It was that depression piling up into me searching for attention. I would read every little comment, every little person telling me to kill myself, every person telling me that life wasn't worth living for me anymore. That entire ride home, I read those comments and I began researching different suicide methods.
Despite the disturbing allegations the man was facing, Austin wasn't subjected to any immediate law enforcement investigation. He would avoid incursion from authorities for the next 2 years. However, thanks to the persistence of the alleged victims and a variety of online activism campaigns against Jones, eventually a criminal inquiry was opened. On June 9th of 2017, just over 2 years after the allegations went viral, a U.S. magistrate judge would sign and issue a search warrant for Jones's home in Bloomingdale, Illinois. 3 days later, on June 11th, Homeland Security investigators raided the YouTube star's residence. During the search, authorities discovered illicit child content on the man's devices.
What?
He was then arrested and hit with 2 CP-related charges. What followed were a series of court proceedings that revealed the true horrific extent of the abuse committed by Austin Jones. One such discovery was that in messages Austin had exchanged with a minor, he would request the underage fan to announce their age while the individual performed suggestive acts for him. In court transcripts, Austin describes a conversation between him and a 14-year-old girl as a quote, audition, where she would have to perform suggestive dances and acts for his approval. The man apparently acting as a sort of sadistic director, guiding the minor to perform in a way which he saw fit to appease his sick fantasies. Now you need an intro to the video. At the beginning, get super close and say these lines. Hey Austin, it's name, and this butt is age, years old, and then make it clap for 30 seconds. Got it? After a series of trials, Jones would eventually be found guilty on 1 count of receiving CP, and on February 1st of 2017, Austin Jones was sentenced to serve 10 years in prison, with his earliest possible release being in 2027. In the wake of his sentencing, the man's YouTube channel has been deleted and the name Austin Jones has been entered into the ever-growing catalog of YouTubers busted for CP. His reputation likely permanently destroyed thanks to his own abusive activities.
Shit's crazy, dude. What the fuck?
Mr. Anime is a name known far and wide online. Essentially,
why has YouTube like set up a system where you can like
one of the most prolific creators in the early YouTube landscape. However, beneath the affable persona showcased in videos was a monster capable of committing some of the most heinous crimes imaginable. This is the story of Mr. Anime.
Shaky, shaky. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, there it is.
Has YouTube set up a system where you could like report people who are doing stuff like this? I'm surprised if they really haven't.
Trey Sessler was born August 3rd of 1989 in Waller, Texas. Trey has been described as a loner who had a hard time holding down a job, which is what ultimately led him to starting his YouTube channel. Launching the Mr. Anime channel in the early days of the site, Trey was a YouTube pioneer. When he created his channel in 2006, he was one of the first on the platform to review anime and discuss anime news on a regular basis. His consistent upload schedule and critiques making him somewhat of an early internet tastemaker when it came to both gaming and anime.
I am fighting the horse, yeah. As scary as it is.
Trey was also known for his humorously blunt review scale that he used to review media in his videos, with 1 being absolute shit and 10 being rarely given to superb shows. Trey's matter-of-fact and often aggressive style fit well within this AVGN-inspired era of YouTube, and much like other media reviewers of the time, Mr. Anime was no stranger to creating skit videos. Trey created various sketches, which almost exclusively consisted of scenes.
What do you guys think about the old YouTube sketch era?
The videos containing a fair amount of simulated violence, gore,
like
and bloodshed, featuring guns as props.
Wait, actual guns?
Thanks to his reviews and sketches, Mr. Anime found great success on YouTube, publishing over 300 videos and getting 5 million views in the process. A number pretty impressive for like 2010-2011 YouTube. However, as with most stories discussed on this channel, eventually things take a turn for the worse. In late 2011, Trey would begin posting disturbing videos to his channel, which started to indicate that he was experiencing both physical and mental health struggles in his personal life. On December 27, 2011, Trey uploaded a video titled "Very Bad News, Please Watch." watch. In the video, he explained that he had been to the hospital and was diagnosed with pneumothorax, a condition that was causing air to leak out of his lungs. According to Trey, this medical issue caused near constant discomfort, occasional shortness of breath, and many sleepless nights.
But I've had a little bit of shortness of breath lately and a little bit of back pain and stuff.
Oh my gosh, he's here.
I haven't been sleeping too well.
Fuck,
Eyes are a
he's
little
here.
swollen. That's why I'm wearing these sunshades. And it seems like I've got the diagnosis of pneumothorax. Basically, I'm leaking air from my lungs, and my lungs are running the possibility of collapsing. So I'm going to be out of action.
Are there any like
The video
YouTubers in
portrayed a
jail for
clearly
like cool
struggling
things?
individual, and fans of Mr. Anime would take to the comment sections showing their support for the guy. Many, after seeing this pneumothorax thing, encouraged Trey to just take a break from YouTube and get some rest. And in a follow-up video that would be posted by Trey, it appeared this was advice that he ended up taking. That follow-up video being the rather ominously titled Mr. Anime is planning something. Despite the uncanny title of this update video, in it, Trey seemed in good spirits and would announce to viewers that he planned to take a 3-week sabbatical from his duties as a content creator.
I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and
No,
watching
not
the channel.
terrorism.
I got more subscribers
Of any
than ever.
flavor.
I have more views than ever, and everything is going really good.
Mr. Anime would step away from YouTube for about a week or so, but as promised, he would eventually return. And after returning, it appeared as if rest was exactly what the doctor ordered. Not only did Trey seem in good spirits, he announced that he had landed a full-time job in the film industry, citing that the future was bright and that he had opened a new chapter in his life.
I now found a full-time job in a department that I'm interested in, which is film. And I'm still going to be doing videos. So keep supporting Mr. Anime. I'll still be doing anime reviews, but probably
just
not
walk around with that. I'm not sure if you can. If I'm gonna be honest with you,
I've been able to be recognized by some people, and I'm gonna be doing some good stuff.
Unfortunately, though, the optimism showcased in this video was nothing but a feint, as this new chapter embarked upon by Trey Sessler was darker than anyone could have ever imagined. Unbeknownst to fans at the time, that update video would be the last piece of content ever published to the Mr. Anime YouTube channel, essentially serving as a farewell. After publishing this update video, Trey Sessler would go on to commit one of the most heinous crimes imaginable. On March 20th of 2012, Trey Sessler's parents and his brother were found murdered in the Sessler residence.
Oh my gosh.
All shot to death by a gunman. That individual being none other than Trey himself. According to reports, after a night of binge drinking, Trey systematically murdered his entire family. Starting with his mother, he lured the woman into her garage and shot her point blank with a .22 caliber rifle. Trey then made his way through the Sessler home, killing his father and brother shortly after with a 9mm handgun. After slaughtering his family, Trey then wrote disturbing messages all over the walls and doors of the home. The assorted messages read, "I love my family. Why did I do this? I love my mom, dad, and brother. I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this. God, please help me." Before leaving the Sessler residence, Trey shot his already dead mother an additional 2 times. Then he got in a vehicle. The next order of business was to travel to nearby Waller High School and commit a mass shooting equipped with multiple firearms and over 100 rounds of ammunition. After arriving at the school, Trey waited in the parking lot for a moment, but apparently had second thoughts and made his way to a nearby friend's house. Police would eventually receive concerned calls from family friends of the Sesslers, prompting them to investigate the Sessler home. Authorities soon arrived at the residence and discovered the grisly scene. After the horrific findings, they immediately began searching for Trey, and it was at his friend's house where the Waller police caught up to the man. Mr. Anime would then be arrested for capital murder. After Trey's arrest, he was interrogated by detectives. He would coldly admit to the murder of his entire family and explained his plan in detail to police. According to Trey, he wanted to kill his family because he didn't want them to be ashamed after he executed his so-called master plan. That plan was to shoot up his local high school and kill over 70 students. He had hoped to become the deadliest mass shooter in history.
They would first immediate human targets in my sight. And if I was going to go out and do anything, they would have to go. And I'm like,
most sane YouTuber, most sane anime YouTuber.
Go ahead, go get it. Right after I had killed the family, it was on my mind to do that.
Sessler had other things on his mind. A Columbine-style shooting at Waller High School.
Further investigation from authorities would reveal that Trey had become obsessed with the Columbine shooters and school shooters in general. It's also been reported that authorities
now I know never pick up homesick bullets again. It's a horrible item, and it ruined my really good run.
Which ones he thought were the best and the worst. On Thursday, August 2nd of 2012, Trey Sessler would be sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to all charges. Trey himself even reportedly urged forced the judge to revoke his right to parole because he feared he would be a threat to himself and others. Mr. Sessler, now 33 years old, resides at the Terrell Prison Facility in Texas and will remain in prison for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's probably
Amos Yee
for the
was
best.
a young YouTuber that rose to fame in the early 2010s.
That's probably
Known
for the
his
best.
outspoken commentary videos denouncing religion and the
Rip Shark.
Singaporean
No!
government, this pseudo-activist found himself in trouble with Singaporean law enforcement on many occasions thanks to his videos. And after moving to the United States, he would find himself in prison. This is the story of Amos Yee.
I actually don't know anything about this guy.
Born October 31st, 1998, was a Singaporean YouTuber, blogger, and child actor. Creating his first YouTube channel at 8 years old, the kid was inspired by many of the prominent sketch
his
video
life was
creators
already
on
destroyed
YouTube
by
at the
then.
time, such
Hate
as
to see
Niga
it.
Yiga and Smosh. In March of 2011, at the age of 13, Amos would upload a popular sketch that was written, directed, and acted all by himself.
Jen, my best friend, she has cancer. Cancer? Seriously? Cancer? Yes, it seems like she has eaten too much McDonald's, and every time she puts like 5 packets of salt onto her fries, and she always buys a double McSpicy with extra soy sauce. It seems that now she has stomach cancer, and a huge stomach ulcer is invading her small intestine. How discomforting. And we should care why? We have to help her, guys. I have found out that stem cell research can cure stomach cancer instantly.
This comedic satire piece actually went on to win a prestigious award in Singapore and made Amos Yee popular in his own country on YouTube.
Where was the joke? Does anybody? Did I miss something? What part of that was the where was the joke? Did I misunderstand? I don't get it. Did I miss something? She has stomach cancer. She ate too many McDonald's fries with soya sauce. Why should I care? We gotta help her. I heard stem cell research is crazy. Where's the funny part? Singaporean humor?
As Amos grew older and the landscape of YouTube changed, his content would eventually shift from sketch comedy to more of a commentary style. Getting older, the young man found himself becoming influenced by YouTubers discussing social issues, religion, and philosophy through a comedic lens. Creators like The Amazing Atheist. Taking inspiration from The Atheist and others, Amos Yee would go on to create various social commentary satire pieces, many of which proved to be quite controversial, especially within his home country of Singapore.
Lee Kuan Yew, contrary to popular belief, was a horrible person and an awful leader to our country.
From scathing criticisms of Singapore banning gay marriage to just lambasting the entire concept of the Chinese New Year, he made some pretty controversial takes that pissed off a lot of people in the country. Pretty much any sort of conservative belief held by Singaporean people, Amos Yee went against it, and he ruffled a lot of feathers doing so. One of the most notable ruffling of feathers caused by Amos relates to the death of a Singaporean leader. On March 13th of 2015, Singapore
Did he say
Prime
rest in
Minister
piss?
Lee Kuan Yew passed away from pneumonia at the age of 91. Amos, not being a fan of the Prime Minister, made a video essentially pissing on his grave. Shortly after the man's passing, he uploaded a video titled Lee Kuan Yew is Finally Dead, in which he chastises the recently deceased leader for his apparent myriad of failures, calling him a terrible leader and compares him to Jesus Christ. Quote, they're both power-hungry and malicious, but deceive others into thinking they are both compassionate and kind.
Why hasn't anyone said,
Average
"Fuck
Redditor.
yeah, the guy is dead"? Lee Kuan Yew was a horrible person. Because everyone is scared. Everyone is afraid that if they say something like that, they might get into trouble, which, give Lee Kuan Yew credit, that was primarily the impact of his legacy.
Amos's video naturally outraged a large majority of Singaporean citizens, and he would end up getting in trouble with the government because of it. Due to Singapore having absolute dog shit freedom of speech laws, Amos's video was deemed in violation of Singapore's Sedition Act of 1948, a law that bans free speech going against whatever their government deems is the established order. With the deceased Lee Kuan Yew being a popular leader within the country, thousands of citizens would report Amos's video to the feds. And to
OMG, he went to jail?
Himself, Amos, seeing the backlash, decided to double down on the Lee Kuan Yew disrespect and created lewd artwork showing the deceased prime minister having sexual intercourse with former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher.
What in the world?
Authorities as well, which ultimately led to Amos Yee getting arrested and charged with, quote, deliberate intention of wounding the religious or racial feelings of any person, threatening, abusive, or insulting communication, and making obscene posts. How about those
not
charges,
making
huh?
obscene
People in
posts.
Singapore were so upset with Amos Yee's video that he was actually slapped in the face on the way to the courthouse. On May 12th of 2015, Amos Yee was found guilty on all counts, and he was ultimately compelled to spend 4 weeks in jail as a result of the debacle. But jail time would do little in regard to dissuading Amos Yee
When you go to jail.
controversial content to his YouTube channel. As almost immediately after getting out of jail, he resumed his free speech advocacy video making crusade, and the creation of these videos would eventually result in Amos being sent to jail again about a year later, in a similar scenario involving the young man making statements that the government didn't approve of. After being arrested multiple times, one thing became clear, that being his occupation as a YouTube rabble-rouser was untenable, at least while he was in the country of Singapore. Refusing to give up his video-making hobby, but not wanting to get jail time, Amos Yee comes up with a brilliant idea. That idea being move to the United States. Doing so under the premise of political asylum. In December of 2016, Amos Yee got on a plane and headed to Chicago's
my country.
Airport. But unfortunately, this political asylum immigration process proved to be a little bit more complicated and cumbersome than he had expected. Amos Yee was almost immediately detained after landing by immigration authorities, and he was placed in an immigration detention center until his asylum request could be officially processed. A process that took 9 months, partly due to the fact that Amos had a checkered legal history back home. Ironically, he spent more time in the immigration detention center than he ever spent in jail back in Singapore.
Welcome to America, Amos.
Asylum request was granted.
Welcome to America.
In September of 2017, he would be a free man once again. So how does Amos Yee celebrate his new life as an American? Well, by posting a series of videos defending pedophiles. These commentary videos were titled, "Why Pedophilia is Alright" and "Don't Discriminate Pedophiles."
Was he holding that in the whole time while he was in
should be allowed to have romantic and sexual relationships with each other without judgment.
Most people would make the absolute broad generalization that any kid that is below the age of 12 are not able to consent to sex. But then one day, a 42-year-old adult comes along and says that while he was 10 years old, he had a perfectly consensual sexual relationship with a 30-year-old adult. 10-year-old him was not traumatized afterwards.
He did not.
The relationship was perfectly fine and consensual, and
it was not.
Enjoyed the sexual relationship.
Stop.
Do you think that that kind of relationship should not happen? That just because the child was below 18, that relationship that was perfectly harmless should be considered child rape? No, that's absolutely ridiculous.
He also seems to suggest that age of consent should be abolished and that CP should be legal.
The reason why I'm speaking up against the legalization of child pornography is because I think that it is a fascist law that violates human rights and it needs to be abolished.
Now I think it goes without saying his staunch defense.
POV, you come to America. Is he doing it? He turned into a parody of what people think America is like. He's like, hell yeah. Now he was like, I'm freedom pilled. Oh, you want real freedom? This is freedom. No, it's not. No, go to jail. I don't know. Maybe it seems like this man has always been destined for federal prison.
For pedos shocked not only his detractors, but even his most die-hard fans that had stuck around over the years.
They're like, I can't stick by this one.
Like red flags everywhere. These pedo defense videos were met with immense backlash, which in turn prompted Amos to triple down, releasing a video titled "Free Speech for the Pedophile." In this video, he would shame detractors for not engaging in his arguments and also express that he was appalled at how pedophiles were treated as outcasts in society.
The original debate, bro.
Many of you completely disagree with my views on pedophilia, and it is a very emotionally charged topic. But if you truly value freedom of speech and freedom of expression, you have to speak up for my rights to continue sharing these opinions.
No.
You have to condemn the people who are trying to censor me.
It goes without saying that videos with titles and takes
Come
like
on,
this
let me
would
keep
get a bit of a
talking.
buzz
Let me
on
keep
Reddit,
going.
And dislikes flooded in. Amos Yee would quickly find himself becoming a pariah amongst Western YouTube fans and content creators. But despite the hate, he stuck to his guns, defending CP and pedos to the ends of the earth, taking any opportunity given to express his ideology and beliefs.
But compare that to sex is because one act is harmful.
He found one bit and he just stuck with
the
it.
other isn't. And sexual acts is not at all harmful to them. It actually benefits them greatly. So,
well, the benefits them greatly is something that we would have to look over in terms of like psychological research. I don't think that's true. We would have to go somewhere.
That is perfectly true.
I didn't know Destiny debated him all that time ago.
Eventually result in
That's
his
so
social
funny.
media accounts being mass reported, and he would soon find his Facebook, Twitter, and most importantly YouTube account banned. The man's videos had also been sent to real-world authorities, and according to reports, this resulted in Amos being kicked out of a friend's place he was staying at after Child Protective Services became concerned about the man living there, as the friend had foster children in the home. But with all of this going on, it is important to remember that there were actually a small group of people supporting Amos and his ideology regarding pedos. They weren't happy that Amos had been banned from his social media accounts and felt that what he was doing was simply an extreme exercise of free speech and playing some like super far off devil advocate case for pedos and CP advocation. You know, suggesting that the guy wasn't actually doing anything wrong. Well, all of that goes out the window when we soon find that Amos Yee was actually committing crimes related to CP. In October of 2020, Amos Yee was busted by a group
it wasn't all talk.
pedo hunters.
His bite is worse than his bark.
Receiving illicit images with a 14-year-old girl on WhatsApp. The girl had reportedly been victim to Amos's illegal requests over a period of months, and it was only after he became aggressive with her did she reveal the messages to the pedo hunters, who then got law enforcement involved. Amos Yee would later be arrested on charges of solicitation and possession of CP. Initially, the man would plead not guilty, claiming that the allegations were all lies, but he would later enter a guilty plea as a part of a plea deal in an effort to get a lighter sentence. In December of 2021, Amos Yee was sentenced to serve 6 years in prison, and it's likely that whenever he's released, he'll be deported back to Singapore to face the wrath of that government once again.
Oh no, he's getting deported.
Advocate to CP possessor, that was the Amos Yee story. In the live streaming world, one needs a gimmick to stand out and get viewers. One streamer would take it too far when the gimmick essentially becomes abusing his girlfriend, abuse that eventually leads to a death and a prison sentence. This is the story of Reflay. Stanislav Reshetnikov, aka Reflay, was once a trash vlogger. And I don't mean that as an insult, there's literally a video genre called trash vlogging. Trash vlogging is a style of vlogging in which viewers
you commit crimes?
someone on stream abused for their own amusement.
What?
It's a genre that's popular in Russia, and while the actions committed in these streams are often illegal, streamers are very rarely prosecuted. The videos are violent and often target women. Now, where does Reflay fit into this picture? Reflay would use his 28-year-old girlfriend, Valya, as the victim in his streams. Disgusting chatters that visited would donate and encourage him to do vile things to his girlfriend, and as a result, he would verbally and physically abuse the woman. According
I may have to take this one off stream. I can keep playing what it looks like. Well, I can keep playing the video, but I'm gonna take the visuals off screen for this one.
To reports, he would shove her around, call her a prostitute, smelly, even going as far as pepper spraying a woman at a viewer's request.
He pepper sprayed her?
This dangerous style of streaming would prove to be lethal for Reflay's girlfriend. During one stream, a viewer would donate $1,000, ordering Reflay to force his girlfriend out on the building balcony and lock her outside in freezing weather. Keep in mind that it only takes about 30 minutes for hypothermia symptoms to show in such conditions. Reflay would oblige with the request and locks his girlfriend outside. Throughout the stream, the woman can be heard screaming and begging for him to let her inside, which only results in Reflay filming her struggle through the glass door and mocking her as she attempts to get inside. But eventually, she stops banging on the door and making any attempt to get back in. Realizing what likely just happened, while the stream is still rolling, he then opens the door and drags in his girlfriend's now lifeless body. She had died. In apparent disbelief, Reflay can be heard saying, "Valya, are you alive? Valya, are you alive?" The man would continue streaming and interacting with chat for some time until eventually calling for medical help.
With a dead body on his floor?
It didn't take long for them to pronounce Valya dead. While it was
he propped her up on the couch? He propped her up on the couch? Behind holy! He props her dead body up on the couch behind his gaming chair. This poor woman
was the cause of death, autopsy reports would indicate that the woman had craniocerebral trauma. It was later revealed that Reflay had actually beat his girlfriend prior to putting her outside. The combination of these two factors is what resulted in the death. After authorities got a grasp on what had happened, Stanislav Reshetnikov, aka Reflay, was now facing serious charges and was implicated in causing the death of the woman. In April of 2021, Stanislav would eventually be convicted of intentional infliction of grievous bodily harm dangerous to human life committed with the use of an object as a deadly weapon, resulting in the death of the victim by negligence. As a result of this conviction, the man received an insultingly light 6 years in prison. In light of this outrageously soft sentence, a Russian senator would actually speak out and advocate for more punishment to be placed on trash vloggers like Stanislav. Quote, "This is becoming..."
He beat his girlfriend to death and then tortured her to death by locking her outside in the freezing cold Russian winter and then just dragging her back inside. And then he gets 6 years in jail. That like Brittany Griner, whatever her name is, that like basketball player who brought in a single gram of weed got 10 years in prison. Okay.
More and more widespread, so it's necessary to legislatively respond to this form of activity. Naturally, if we are talking about direct participation or complicity in murder, then the imprisonment term may be longer. And what could be described as a dark web snuff video resulting in measly prison time, that was the story of Reflay.
Oh my gosh.
Many of you may be aware of a sort of long-standing loophole in the YouTube
abusing women for content. How fun.
To be shown on the site. For example, if the nudity is used in an educational purpose, it's permitted, such as like a woman showing other women how to perform a breast exam on themselves. Another example of this could be a video where a woman is showing other women how to breastfeed. But one woman takes this loophole way too far and gets criminal charges from it.
All right, I'm gonna keep this one off stream still.
Teacher based out of Tallahassee, Florida.
I was gonna bring it back, but I can't bring it back. Sorry, guys. Not this one.
Where she would instruct kids and young adults in the area, teaching them how to play. Despite having her own business, Lee was financially struggling. After being left by her 1-year-old child's father, Miss Lee found herself a single mother. This abandonment, compounded with the financial struggles she experienced, caused the woman to sink into a deep depression, her self-esteem essentially hitting rock bottom. So, in a completely unhealthy and disgusting way of addressing both the issues of financial problems and self-esteem, she starts creating breastfeeding videos on YouTube. Initially styled as how-to instructional content, the videos featured Lee breastfeeding her 1-year-old child. But what we find is things quickly get depraved and meander away from instructional to suggestive and
somehow family YouTube content gets worse. Somehow it got worse.
Actually women trying to learn how to breastfeed, it was perverted men commenting on her appearance, talking about how much they enjoyed the videos. And after seeing this, instead of stop uploading the videos or ban these users from viewing her YouTube channel, what she does is essentially play into these
like
nasty,
a cash cow.
disgusting perverts. Lee allegedly sold unlisted videos to inquiring viewers and very purposefully dialed up the sexual nature of the breastfeeding content. Reportedly made breastfeeding videos where she rubbed herself and her child down in oil and shoved her breast in the baby's face. Lee would give her videos titles akin to something you might find on an adult website. Titles such as Slip and Slide and Mommy's a Whore. Jesus fucking Christ. This vomit-inducing situation would continue unchecked.
The baby as an OnlyFans prop?
Somebody would report Lee. According to reports, a Wisconsin man was apparently busted purchasing Lee's content by his wife. And after discovering the repulsive videos, the wife reported.
I feel so bad for wives.
In October of 2016, Lee Felton would be arrested and charged with promoting sexual performance by a child, lewd and lascivious behavior, cruelty towards a child, and molestation. During her trial, she would describe her videos as a, quote, silly little playful thing, and that she doesn't believe it's criminal. She explained that the motivation behind making the videos was mental health struggles. Quote, finally, I was getting attention and felt like I had some worth, adding, I'm not a monster. Lee Felton's defense attempted to argue that her breastfeeding videos fell under free speech protection, but nobody was buying this defense. A Tallahassee sheriff's lieutenant puts it best. Quote, the video was clearly not done for the purpose of education or artistic display. Based on the content and the fact that it's being sold by Felton, it is clear this video is for sexual purposes. Lee would eventually be found guilty on 1 count of lewd and lascivious exhibition.
And this woman gets more jail than the guy who killed somebody.
With a 5-year probation, and she was added.
She got 10 years in jail.
She would later address the judge over the case, claiming that her time in jail was, quote, humbling, and that she had, quote, a moral compass now. Well, you made it to the end. Those were YouTubers literally imprisoned at the time of me recording this video. Let me know what you guys thought about this one down below in the comments section, and let me know who or what you want me to talk about next. I want to give a major shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys. Wavy Web Surf out. Peace.
That's definitely something. What do you guys chat on the something to not something scale? That one was definitely something. That was less fun than I thought it would be. YouTuber crimes. YouTuber crimes. That's crazy. Don't date a YouTuber out of 10. Well, I'm a streamer, so I'm different. I'm built different. I'm dateable. I'm probably not. Don't do any of these. I have no plans of it. I literally just want to vibe. That's my main goal. My main goal is to vibe. Come here. Oh. Hi. Oh, sorry. I didn't see you there. If you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't, it'll make Boo very sad. I know a bunch of you who are watching are not subscribed. Join the frenzy. You won't regret it. Thank you, Boo.